Hey DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to change your installer code using a Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi keypad. So the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi, as you can see, it's a touchscreen keypad and it has Z-Wave built in. So if you guys are looking to add Z-Wave to your VISTA Alarm series system, the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi is one of the devices you guys can add to control Z-Wave lights, locks, thermostats, home automation devices. Now, in order to change the installer code on a Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi, you need to go into console mode programming. What console mode programming does, it basically acts as an alphanumeric keypad. So it emulates the same screen that a 6160 would. A 6160 is the normal touchscreen keypad, is the normal alphanumeric keypad for a VISTA series alarm system. So what the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi does, it has a console mode setting that you can go in and it'll emulate that deep level programming. Now, let's get into one thing here, right? We usually recommend, if you have an alarm system that's Honeywell, to leave the installer code the same as 4112. The reason for that is if you change it, a lot of people tend to forget it. Why? Because it's not a code that you use that often, and a lot of people get the master code and installer code confused. So if you use the installer code only once, you may forget it 2 or 3 years down the road when it's time to use it again, for instance, when you want to add a new sensor or anything like that. The other thing about leaving the installer code as default as 4112 is that in case you ever do forget it, well, everyone knows the default installer code for Honeywell systems is 4112. Now you may be asking, well, if everyone knows, wouldn't that be dangerous? The answer to that is no, because you don't use your installer code to arm and disarm the system. You should never use the installer code to arm and disarm the system. If you go off of that, if you use your master code or any other user code to arm and disarm the system, to arm the system, you cannot use an installer code to disarm it. So the only time an installer code can disarm your system is if you've used that same code to arm it, which is why we always say, do not use the installer code to arm your system. If you guys stick to that strictly, you don't ever have to worry about anyone using the installer code to breach or hack your system ever. All right. So let's go ahead and show you guys real quick. Now, in order to go into deep level programming using the console mode, you do need to know your installer code for your existing system. If you don't know it, you either need to get it from the previous owner, from the previous company, or you will need to do the backdoor method. The backdoor method does not work on the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi. You actually need one of the push button keypads for it. So if you only have a Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi and you don't know your installer code, the backdoor method will not work. The other thing you need to make sure is that your system is not locked out of programming. Some companies out there, if you've canceled your monitoring plan with them, they may have locked you out, and you'll be able to tell, because if you're entering your installer code 800 and you hear a beep, or if you try doing the if you do the backdoor method by holding down star and pound on the keypad and you hear a long error beep, that means you've been locked out. All right, so you need to make sure that you know your installer code and that the system is not locked out of programming. Now let's go ahead and go into console mode programming on the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is go to security. Right, that's on my home page. Once I hit security, I'm going to go to more choices. Whoops, sorry. Let's start over. I'm going to go to security. I'm going to go to more choices. I'm going to go to console mode. Now, as you see here, this emulates an alphanumeric keypad, disarmed, ready to arm. To get into programming, my installer code is 4112 because we do leave our panels defaulted. So I'm going to enter in 4112 and then 800 is the command to go into programming. If you entered it in correctly and if you're not locked out of programming, the first thing you're going to see is installer code 20. Now you're basically already in the field to change that installer code, but it's always good practice just to do star 20 anyways. So when you get into programming mode and you're looking to change other features, remember the go-to command is always star and then the field you want to go to. We're already in the installer code field, but I'm going to go ahead and enter in star 20 anyways, just as good practice. So You enter in *20 and then you enter in the new 4-digit code that you want your installer code to be. And if it takes it, you will hear a 3-beep confirmation. I'm gonna enter in *20, and then instead of 4112, I'm gonna do 4111. 4111. The keypad beeped 3 times. After you're there, you need to exit programming. So you're gonna go ahead and hit *99. Is going to say that the settings were changed. The Tuxedo will reboot. So when you exit programming, you need to make sure you use *99. If you use any other command, you may lock yourself out of programming, which you do not want to do. Because if you do that and the only keypad you have is a Tuxedo Touch, well, guess what? You're going to need to buy an Alphanumeric keypad. So make sure you guys do not lock yourselves out of programming. Just use *99 to exit. It'll boot you back out to the main screen once the system powers back on. And that is just a quick video showing you guys how to change your installer code using the Tuxedo Touch Wi-Fi. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email us at support@alarmgrid.com. If you found the video helpful, make sure you hit like underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and enable notifications so whenever we upload new videos, you guys get notified. I'm George, and I'll see you guys next time.